masterclass that we have. This is the only masterclass that we have in gaming. Um, so the main topic of the masterclass is immersion through interaction in the cultural and creative industries with Loic Manglou, who's right here. And
Hi
as you
guys.
know me already, so I'm Jonathan Makolo, project manager for the Creation Africa program. So Loic is the CEO of the French video game studio Blue Ramen and co-founder of the renowned higher education school of animation and video games Rubika Reunion. With over a decade of experience in the gaming industry, Loic has been an instrumental in bringing more than 20 mobile and PC console games to life. That is actually great. And his passion for creativity and innovation is evident in his current project. The name of the project is From Mafate with Love, a heartwarming game set in Reunion. I tend to say it in French, Réunion or Reunion Island.
Reunion is fine. Yes.
Okay. Reunion Island, which tells the story of postmen discovering the beauty of an isolated valley in its inhabitant. So today's session will explore how immersion through interaction plays a pivotal role in the cultural and creative sectors. And we are fortunate to have someone with such a wealth of experience to guide us through this fascinating topic. So thank you once again, Loic, for being part of the Creation Africa program and for making yourself available. And please go ahead with your masterclass, and I'm looking forward to an engaging and insightful session with you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan, for this amazing introduction. So hi, my name is Loic. Thank you for being there with me this morning. Today we'll address a topic I'm passionate about, which is immersion through interaction in CCIs. As you know, as actors, companies, leaders in those industries, I do think we can push the boundaries of creativity through innovation. I'm not only talking about, using more digital tools, more tech, but how can we bring people together more efficiently through immersion, through interaction, but of course through stories, through design nowadays. So that's a big question. We'll take the time this morning to try to have the keys to find the answer together. Hope you guys have a great time with us. Feel free to react on the chat. We'll try to make it interactive. A live stream, not just a masterclass with me all alone speaking. So yeah, I'm counting on you for that. So first of all, to test if the chat is really working, a little question for you, and this will be like your first test of creativity. Type OK in the chat in the most original way possible. You have 15 seconds. So just type OK. Okay, I'm here. Okay, and try to be to bring creativity. To just test if you can type something in the chat. Okay, okay. Okay. Zero K. Let's go. So
And
nice to meet you guys.
just,
Yes, what's up? Yes?
just 1 second. I also want to remind you that this session is being live streamed on the Coco platform, and we've got
Yes.
we've got about 20 people, if I'm not mistaken, who are live on the Coco platform via YouTube. So if there is any comment, I'll let you know, or I'll just raise my hand.
Of
Hopefully, you will
course.
see.
Yes.
If you can't, I'll just try to speak so that you can hear me out, since I'm sure you
Yeah,
have.
please do.
All
Please
right.
do.
All
It
right.
will be really interactive that way. I do not have the chance to have, the views of the comments on this platform, but yeah, please let me know if there's any question or, remarks and comments on the matter.
Perfect.
Okay, so everything is working fine. So let's do this. So first of all, this masterclass will try to cover a large range of topics that are linked to our main theme. There's two parts. We'll try to have some questions to the audience, some quiz to pace it nicely, hopefully. For each part we cover, we'll try to have one or several examples to analyze together. So first of all, who am I? I'll quickly tell you about my story. Immersion, interaction, and storytelling. It's all linked to my will to create universes, characters, to design worlds, rules, and how it as it all started. Well, I live in Reunion Island, which is a small French region between Madagascar and Mauritius, and not so far away from you, guys. Reunion Island is famous for its most active volcano, and its beautiful mountains and waterfall and beaches. My higher education background is an insane roller coaster. Really, I tried to go to university when I had a bachelor in English language and literature, but I was spending most of my time like drawing in classes or playing D&D with my friends. So one of my friends at the party told me about that school that prepared you to be a video game professional. So I quit university and managed to join their program. So I graduated in 2012 from the only school in Reunion Island that had a video game dev degree, which is the Indian Ocean Institute of Image. And our teachers had been working for companies like Infogram, Ubisoft, Disney Interactive, etc. And also a few years later passed a Harvard certification not so long ago in computer sciences and game dev too, for fun. So in 2012, there was no video game industry in Reunion Island. At that time, every sane person who wanted to live from their game would leave to Paris or Montreal, which is in Quebec, Canada. For the record, a lot of Reunionists go to Quebec, Canada, which is exactly like, the opposite of the globe, which is really, really a big challenge. So they leave their family and friends at the other side, and they clearly never come back. But my two other former school friends and me, we decided to stay to try to make a change, to make a living in this little rock in the sea. We had to survive, so we knew how to make games, and the mobile market was trending thanks to Steve Jobs, and everyone started to have their smartphones, so we decided to jump in. So we made more like 15 20 different casual mobile games with Funky Monkey Studios, the company we created on Android, iOS, and using Unity Engine. The games had great review, great retention. We made millions of dollars overall, but just enough to buy us some beer from downstairs. Because our first studio was at the first floor of a bar. It was amazing, amazing years, and yes, so the young years was really, really amazing. But from there, as a young game designer, I just started to, experiment a lot. I've been in more like 30 game jams, won some awards for some of them, made maybe 100 of prototypes just to test gameplays, new mechanics, etc. You can find and play a bunch of them for free online on my website, like you can see right here. And I did this mostly because, as you may know, there's a lot of game genre. And, making a shooter is totally different approach than making a Candy Crush or a VR game, right? So I had this fear of not being able to handle, to prove myself to others that game designer can be a good dev too. So I kind of transform my skills as more of a technical game designer, someone who can craft an idea, write the rules in a document, but also using game engine to make fun and functional prototype experiences. So what I learned from all these tests is that I needed to fail and fail as fast as possible to understand how to craft simple yet elegant ideas and bring them to life. So the first one that you see in the left corner is like a reverse breakout. And the main purpose was like, okay, how can we even innovate with a classic, one of the most remade game ever? Well, I tried different approaches and came with the idea of playing the bricks, but like all the bricks together. So each keyboard key is linked to a certain brick, and you have to straighten the brick just before the ball comes in. So the ball is the enemy in this game. So it was so refreshing to make this little shock experience, and I couldn't be more specific about, just experiment with ideas and interaction, etc. Because you will learn a lot about, simpler is better. So time passing by, and other game makers tried also to make a living, and we decided to join forces and create our video game organization in 2014, which is named Moveton. Then we went national by becoming the first overseas video game organization with the label SNJV, which is the French National Video Game Union. And why is that important? First of all, we had 0 regional funds dedicated to video game projects. 0. Thanks to our efforts, in 10 years, we are 40 companies. We've been like 140 games created in the territory. And we have now regional funds, which is like 350,000 euros per year for the game creators. And we became one of the most helped region of France. So I had the chance to go all over the world showcasing our young and dynamic industry, like Gamescom this year, a few weeks later before Africa Games Week in 2022, I guess. Yes, Game Connection, and this is just the beginning for us. So this is basically it for my introduction. Blue Ramen is a high value added game dev company. We have 2 economic engines. We got B2C. We help other game studios in their pipeline. Most of all, it's like game art, game dev, game and level design. And we also help startups on immersive experiences. And we do also B2C, and we're making, as Jonathan say before, a cozy game, which is named Stamps of Nature in English, but yes, it's Bon Baiser de Mafate in French, which is a cozy game, which is a societal impact game about, of course, a postman who is exploring Reunion Island, one of the most beautiful places in the world. Besides that project of company, we have also the chance to. I have also the chance to be one of the co-founders of Rubika Reunion, which is a higher education, animation, and video game school. We have currently more than 35 students for our first year in animation 2D, 3D, game dev, and tech design. What you can know about Rubika has campuses all over the world, and is one of the best French schools in the world in animation and, of course, video games. So this is it. This is my background, and this is my big family. You guys. So CCI are a really, really big family, as you know it. And as you know it, a lot of things separate us. Basically, the market, pipeline, sometimes we even use the same words with different meaning. Sometimes it's like the vision itself. And I'll be honest with you, preparing this masterclass was a big challenge for me at first, because I mostly talk about games and game design all the time, gamification, and I had to find a way to get to you. So we'll try to read the room for now. Are there people from the music market here? You can, of course, answer in the chat. The music market, music industry, in in the clubs, music. Nobody from music. From the book market, art market, film industry, broadcasting, performing arts,
I may say
architecture.
we've got people in the gaming space, in the fashion and design space.
Yes, fashion. Fashion, yeah, it's not like written, but I know that the fashion people in the top the people. I've seen like game company. Yes, yes, Africa Games Week, so gaming space. Yes, film industry, advertising maybe. So yeah, well, we're a big, really big family. I don't know which are like the other, in the left corner, the other, because it's such a wide range of family so far. So this is a question for you. What do you think in one or a few words that brings us together as a family? Of course, besides creativity and culture, of course, you can type, there's no wrong answer here. You can, I will leave you like a few seconds to, just type what's in your mind in the chat. What do you think in one word or a few words that brings us together? Beside creativity and culture, because it's the name, creative and cultural industry. Come on, let's go. Yes, love, passion. Great entries right here. A few seconds. We are misunderstood. Come on. Misunderstood. Everybody, what brings us together is like we're misunderstood. And yes, this is really an amazing answer if you if you consider it. Yes, let's stick together. So thank you for your answers. I just, of course, leave you my answer. I know if I don't know if you agree with me. We are storytellers. And of course, we use tools to craft our work, such as immersion and interaction. So we perceive the world and transmit our perception into our craft, our design, our process. So what brings you here? I'll just leave you a few seconds to write it down on the chat. What brings you here? What in life brought you to certain events that really the fact that you are here this morning with me? Maybe let one of you guys speak a little. I don't know if you guys have access to the mic. Wendy, maybe. Wendy, can you turn on your mic? Is it possible for them to join me? Or is it technically
Yeah,
challenging?
it's possible for them to unmute. So Space Salad, Tabo, if you can unmute, if you want to speak, yeah.
I was actually typing something in the chat.
Yes. You were tapping in chat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
Multitask.
but it's fine. No, thank
So
you,
what brings you here?
Jonathan. What brings me here is I always wanted to tell like stories, and I found that gaming is like one of the, in my opinion, the best ways of like telling stories and fully immersing the audience or the people that you want to tell the story to in, where they have like the ability to even like change your story. So I've always wanted to tell stories, but I also wanted to leave an impact, like a lasting impact on the world. Like even if I'm dead, I left a footprint. So I wanted to make
Yes.
games that, when you play our games, the world levels up. So like I want to make games that can change the world, like have a lasting effect on communities and the people, that are playing the games. And also they must be fun. And
Of
hopefully I make
course.
enough money and I can buy myself a tank.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer, Wendy. Of course, you will change the world by making games. I'm sure about that. You guys in the chat, just take time to note why brings you here. We'll go on, and I've lost my notes. So as storytellers. As a storyteller, I chose interactive media and of course games, like Wendy. So what brought me here is that I'm a game designer too. So I'm a game designer, but what is so specific in the design I have to work on? Remember when I said that we use the same words with different meaning? Well, let's start with design. Most of people think that as a game designer, I draw art to construct a game. Really? But it's not that at all. That's the role of game artists. And again, artists in our industry are not artists in the traditional art market. So most of my time, I have to explain what exactly is my job. I don't know if you guys have the same, vibe about, people not understanding properly your job. But game designers craft fun and we create systems that expect player behavior. So player interact with their controller and feel an experience through their gameplay. So this is basically the scheme I'm showing to you. It's like we're making like game design, and it go through the play, which is the gameplay, and people feel something in their head. This is what game feel. So as you can see, those rules have to be applied through all the making process, all the skill, the pipeline to get to the final product to the player. That's why we have to have a good understanding of all the jobs involved in the process. And that's why we have the keys to immersion interactions. So I have a question for you guys. Please interact in the chat, please. So this is quiz time. I want you to name in the chat one famous game designer. Bonus points if you know more than one. You have 50 seconds to answer. So do you guys know any game designer? Let's ideas like Mario, Metal Gear, All in the Dark, The Sims, whatever. Yes, of course. Please don't cheat by reading in the chat because, of course, if you don't know it, it's okay. It's okay. And the question I'm asking is, of course, about nobody can really name any game designer besides some really really famous one, as I saw in the chat. And the reason is that we are not like really famous as producer are in the cinema, like Spielberg, etc. It's really a shame. So there I was like Hideo Kojima, yes. Sonia, no EA games, not a single person. I hope in the other chat there was like more answers. So Miyamoto is the game designer of Mario. Hideo Kojima, props to Jenna. Ueda made Ico and Shadow of the Colossus. Alone in the Dark, which is the first survival horror, was made by Frédéric Rénal, which is French game designer. Of course, Will Wright, he invented the Sims genre, like SimCity, The Sims, Spore, and a lot of a lot other that I have forgotten. And of course, Eric Chahi for Another World. Yes, Another World. So congratulations to the one that managed to find the answer. So let's begin to dig into the main subject. So crafting immersive worlds. So immersion can be defined by the state where users feel present in a virtual environment. So when you craft worlds, universes, you have to try to erase every little thing that comes between the user's soul and your experience, whatever it is. I don't know if you know this guy, a well-known Dutch historian named Johan Huizinga wrote the book Homo Ludens, and it introduces the concept of the magic circle. So once the users enter this circle, not only in video games, but in every activity that demands imagination, like theater, improv, kids playing at school, they are mentally in the experience. They have very different thoughts, feelings, values that when we are out of the circle. So if you manage to change the user when it decided to quit the circle, the experience is a success, whatever the slightest change it is. Let's dive into the first example. So Universal's Epic Universe Nintendo World offers a uniquely immersive and interactive experience by blending physical environment with digital gameplay. So I'll just play the video. Hopefully you can see it.
Universal Epic Universe will be the 4th theme park at Universal Orlando Resort and will transport you to 5 immersive worlds filled with thrills and excitement. In Super Nintendo World, you'll jump into the action and discover a new way to play.
So, you know, visitors can engage with the world with using a power-up bands.
Iconic worlds that deeply connect with fans.
I'm a lifelong fan of Nintendo and grown up with these characters. I still remember opening up my NES system in 85 or 80, come in
I'll show you,
and play.
So
It's just about,
And you can see how you're doing compared to other guests in the park.
there's so many places to look and to be engaged. You just get engulfed in it, and then you're like, okay, so what's the first thing you want to do?
If we were going to do anything with Nintendo, there were a handful of things that we had to touch on, and Mario Kart was one of them. Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge is Bowser challenging Mario in a winner-take-all race, and you, as the guest, get to join them on this race through courses all selected from the Mario Kart gaming world.
This ride is extremely innovative.
We use augmented reality technology to bring this race to life in such a fun, visceral way.
You can look at the characters, they look at you, you can throw shells at characters and change the outcome of the race.
You can see all the beautiful scenery, and you also get the gameplay that's going on the image.
It melds that game world into that real world.
Everything in this world is designed to fully immerse you. The sights, the sounds, the food, the attractions.
I
yes,
love
this
Yoshi. You
AR
can do
art
anything
setup
without bringing him
looks
along.
very cool.
Yoshi's Adventure is a family ride, which is just too cute for words.
We're joining Yoshi in exploring Mount Beanpole in the search for 3 glowing eggs. It's a fun, colorful, interactive ride the whole family will love.
You'll see incredible views of the world that you're not going to see anywhere else.
Yoshi and Mario Kart, they're so iconic. Donkey Kong is one of the original icons, and we certainly couldn't do a Super Nintendo World without including
So I
him.
just skip the video right here and go back to sorry. Can you still see my presentation? Yes. Okay. So as you can see, visitors can engage the world with using using power-ups bands. They can collect coins. They can challenge other players. They can unlock secrets. This is really cool. And as you can see, there's like a Mario Kart with augmented reality. There's a combination of physical sets, AR, interactive elements. There's also like restaurants with recipe when you can hit like toad pancakes extra. So really cool. Did you guys had any chance to go to one of those theme parks in the chat? Like, I don't know. I know that there's some theme parks in America, but also in like Tokyo, like maybe Disneyland. If you had any chance. Nope. Is there any theme park like this in South Africa? Maybe Jonathan. Is Jonathan still here?
Yeah. I'm still yeah. I've never been to any of them.
And there's no like a theme park of the genre in South Africa, like in immersion and technology.
I haven't seen one, but I've seen sometimes people hosting certain events, and which most of the time I do not attend. I'm not really into gaming, but I've seen one at Gold Reef, yes. And sometimes we've got some of the events being hosted at a place called Monte Cassino, and sometimes Cape as well.
Gianni said Gold Reef City, but it lacks immersion experience. Yes. Okay. So yeah, basically, of course, I'm taking an example from gaming, but it's basically Disneyland. Disneyland. I've done it like 30 years ago, like 30 to 40 years ago, maybe. So you can bring immersion, interaction in everything that you want to do. So let's move on, and of course the ultimate power of interaction. So how could we define interaction? Interaction is basically communication between entities, and it's mostly used to define relationship between users and the environment that has like rules to understand, or between users. We can see with our perception and interact with our senses. And that's why the magic happens. Obviously, sorry, making things more interactive, make them more immersive. Consider yourselves as like magicians, because you know secret tricks and you use them to amaze people, hopefully. And this is what the Void tried to make, VR magic. I don't know if you guys know the Void, but it's a good example of creating a wide range of interaction in VR. So I just play it. So the Void is a pioneer in location-based VR experiences. You blend physical spaces with VR to create an highly immersive and interactive environment. So here are the unique and innovative aspects of the Void. First of all, one of the Void's most remarkable innovation is a combination of real-world physical environment with virtual reality. A player can walk around physical sets, touch objects, open doors, interact with tangible elements while wearing a VR headset. So these physical objects are precisely matched with the virtual world. So, I just, sorry, I gotta stop doing that. I wanted to show you, yes, maybe, yes, like this. So, if I can hear me, yes, Ready Player One. This is a main reference, like right there. As I said, it's really like physical object. You can reach out to touch a real world. They feel a real world. When they pick up an item, they'll feel its weight and texture. So this tactile interaction creates a deeper level of immersion. That traditional VR, which relies on only visual and auditory senses, cannot achieve. And the second one, I'm sure you all have tested like 4D experiences, like in Disneyland experience, like Jenny. So they use environmental effects such as wind, heat, cold, mist, or scents to further immerse players into the experience. And combined with an haptic vest, it is basically covering a huge range of interaction. A quick question: how many of you guys own a VR headset, either at work or at home? Please answer in the chat. Jenna, yes. Okay. Other people, other persons? Like any VR headset. So I got a big question for you. Are you ready for some quiz? So VR owner will hopefully know this one. Quiz time. Name in the chat one famous VR headset. You got 30 seconds or less. Please don't cheat while reading the chat. So there's been a lot of VR headsets in the PC, in console too. Consoles. I don't know if you guys know any consoles that can bring virtual reality to stable. Yes, the Apple one. What's the name of the Apple one? This is the second question. This is the second question. Anyone else? Julian, maybe? Yes. Nothing? Okay, let's see the answers. The Apple one. The Apple one is named Apple Vision Pro. There's a MetaQuest, like every MetaQuest, of course, but the last one is like MetaQuest free. And for the console market, there's like PlayStation VR 2, which is out. So again, for your information. So as you may know, the stake of storytelling is how to create a powerful and engaging story that captivates and resonates with its audience. So bringing interaction into your timeline could lead to better emotional engagement and character-driven narrative. Player will have this sense of control with choice, you know? So I don't know if you guys know the studio Telltale Games, which is a studio specialized in narrative-driven games. Back in the day, in the early days, adventure games were point and clicks. There was like a Sierra, LucasArts that made those games you had to point to talk to people and move around and have a description and take objects. It was like the using the mouse, but players got bored of clicking. And started to prefer game controllers, of course, and this making the genre practically obsolete. So studios had to adapt, and that's what Telltale Games did. So Telltale games like The Walking Dead, I don't know if you know about it, but it stands out for its deep emotional storytelling. I just play it.
In today's video, we will be looking over the top 5 choices in The Walking Dead that do matter.
What's here?
If you did enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe. Before we start this video, there's always been a big question on whether the Telltale Games choices actually mean anything. With this, most of the choices in this game shape the character you are playing as well as the ones around you. So like a lot of times in this game,
I don't know if you guys have ever played Telltale Games. I know there's like Borderlands, there's the license, but it's really amazing how it can bring a lot of meaningful choices to the player and create innovative player-driven narrative. So it sets really a new standard of for how games can tell impactful interactive stories, where the player's decisions shape the narrative in meaningful ways. So basically, there's like two things that are really important. So emotional engagement perspective. So the focus on character development, emotional depth, and relationships create a more intense personal connection between players and the characters. So your decisions are not just about survival, but about moral dilemmas. And those dilemmas affect the people around you. For example, when you are choosing to save one character or another, it can have an emotional toll, making player deeply invested in the story outcome. And of course, there's like consequences of player choice, etc. But moreover, in the beginning of the experience, there's always like a tagline with that says like the story is tailored by how you play. It sets like an expectation that the player's action had like weight and a lasting impact on the narrative. So this is a good move. But you would say, yeah, but players don't really feel the pressure. They can just press pause and just take any moment to think. Well, here's a secret tip for you. You could, like them, integrate a dynamic dialogue system. So this is basically integrated a limited time to respond to other characters and add a layer of realism and urgency to conversation. So this system made dialogues feel less scripted and more like natural interaction under stress. And it's heightened immersion, of course. So player felt like the pressure of the timer, which led to more instinctive and emotionally driven choices. So a little question for you guys. Have you ever played an adventure game when you were kids, or maybe if you're a gamer, and which one was it? Let's go into the chat. Jenny, Jenna. Yes, Skyrim. Skyrim is also one of my favorite adventure games. Any other games? and other Bethesda titles like Fallout. Yes. Okay. So let me just look at the time. Okay, we're good. So as I said, you know that a Telltale game. I stopped playing games in high school. The last game I played was GTA San Andreas. Yes, yes. Well, I don't know if it's like adventure game, but it has some story and narrative driven character. So yeah. And other games? So for your record, Telltale games, they are specialized in taking license like, of course, The Walking Dead, and making it into narrative driven game. Okay, so let's move on. So yeah, congratulations. You've made it through part 1. Do you guys have any question or comments at this point? Is everyone still here? I will just read the commentary of this. But Jonathan, is there any comments and question on the other platform?
No, I haven't seen any comment.
Okay. I've just bought PSVR 2 and I'm playing Resident Evil, but on a level I'm too scared to enter the room or because it is too realistic. Yeah, basically this is me. I'm really, when games are too immersive, mostly in horror genre, this is really complicated. And I'm playing a game named Outer Wilds, where there's like planets, it's like in space, and there's like one giant monster that can, hit your spaceship, and it's really terrifying. And I don't want you to go to that part of the game, so I get you. Resident Evil, yes, is one of the first game franchise that tackled the immersion, but in horror way. And of course, in VR, there's no screen to protect you, and this is why it's so immersive because the zombies they go to you, to the person, to the physical person. They will look at your eyes, and there's no screen, there's no game controller, and this is what makes it really a big change. I've played Minecraft in VR a few years ago, and it was just a porting of Minecraft. But one thing shocked me is like the height. When you're on Minecraft, you jump from you're scared of height. But when you're in the mountain in Minecraft and you're in VR, you can feel the deepness. You can feel that if you fall from here, you can hurt yourself, even though it's a game. So yeah. PSVR 2 is really cool. So you were brave for even trying that. Yes, really brave to playing Resident Evil in VR. And technology sonance track your yes, it can now track your eyes. I guess this is like in MetaQuest Pro was like eye tracker, and it records wherever your eyes are looking, and you can now just interact with your eyes, and which made things a lot more interactive and intuitive, I guess. Half-Life Alyx was one of the best VR experiences. Yes, sometimes felt like horror. Of the times I felt like an adventure game. Yes, and Half-Life was made by a Steam, Valve, and Valve made a VR headset. So Valve is like epic because they say games, but they make games. So it was one of the best adventure games, VR adventure games published in the world so far. Another comments or question, or do you guys want to? We can go on. I'm trying to take more of my money, of course, always. So yeah, you can see that in. I hope really in your industry you can try to get the keys to immersion, to interaction, to maybe improve. Of course, example. And don't you hesitate, when we're talking about examples, to if you know other examples that I'm not talking about, so the other can maybe rely a bit more. I'm talking about South African examples, like when I asked to Jonathan about a theme park in South Africa, because I don't really know South Africa that much. I know tabletop mountain. So if it's okay, guys, Jonathan, are we okay in the chat?
Yeah, all is
Can move
good.
on?
Yeah,
Yes. We can move on. Okay, so let's move on. Let's head to part 2, guys. So part 2, we'll dive a little deeper into more serious business. One of the most impacted field, craving for innovation, is education. There has been a lot of tries in XR. I don't know if you guys know, XR is like mixed reality, is like virtual reality and augmented reality in general. So what really are the benefits of immersive learning environment for education? Well, first of all, VR enhances learning of abstract subjects, such as the microscopic world or the macroscopic world, by creating immersive environment where this concept become tangible and interactive. So as you can see, you can really like zoom and have a special context, see really the world as it is in with depth. And I guess in some field it's really like, as I said, more tangible to understand, especially when you're a young kid and you're passionate about things, but you don't get abstract informations. So yes, this is one of the examples, but of course that's like in science, but also in culture, that's a lot that can be going on. So yeah. What we can say is how it works. So as you saw in the video, there's 4 elements that stand out when using VR for anything. First of all, concrete visualization. So VR transform abstract notions, like I said, like cells or the planets in the universe, into 3D representations that can be visually and spatially explored. You can navigate in a 3D space and making this concept more understandable. The second element is sensory immersion. So by immersing learners in microscopic or vast worlds, VR allows them to navigate and interact with phenomena that are otherwise invisible or inaccessible. And it provides a more intuitive experience that 2D flat images or texts. One other example that comes in my mind when talking about the invisible and inaccessible is like when there's jobs what's like firemen which need practice and say for security reasons and hygiene reasons, it's really complicated to show to people things, anatomy of course, but you get it. Free Lives released the Gladiator VR combat. Yes, called Gorn. I know it. Yes, and yes. Okay, in Zambia there's also VR. Oh, okay, in Ghana too. There's a lot of going on. This is so cool. Thank you for the information, Jenna. So as I said, there's so concrete visualization, sensory immersion. The fun one is like active interaction. So users can really manipulate objects or processes, and this is really amazing. You can grab things, you can make them interact together, and this is fostering a deeper dynamic understanding through direct experimentation. You can really think the impact of your interaction in the information. So this is really, really amazing because you are grabbing, you are interacting with virtual elements, but of course, it's a real interaction. So you can get things really more simpler. And the last one is increased cognitive engagement, because the full immersion in interactivity in VR better capture learners' attention, it's increasing motivation, and promoting more effective knowledge retention. Because again, some people learn better and memorize better with spatial informations. Some people, some will have no problem with traditional education courses. So in this way, VR makes abstract subject more concrete. We saw it. But finally, we can use AI to analyze the user data, like learning speed, preferences, mistakes, to adapt content dynamically. So in XR environment, AI could maybe adjust difficulty levels, provide tailored feedback, or maybe recommend resources based on each learner's performance. So that's what we call real-time adaptive learning. And it's a huge, huge, huge challenge for education globally. So we're just starting. I don't know if you guys have any, feedback or any example in the education field. I don't know if you guys know something maybe in South African education field, maybe some serious games, some VR, some, I don't know, a program to make science or all the field way more accessible through VR, of course. Okay. So if you may, I will show you. I said that remember Blue Ramen. We have two engines. So we have B2B and B2C. So we work for people and we make our games. And we had the chance about this specific subject. I'm currently working on a project that is kind of like a Netflix of certified VR training in the food industry. With a lot of gamification, of course, because we are a video game studio, and this is what those are our expertise. So I'll just show you in exclusivity what we are working on. I see not in education, but some mining engineers and geologists are using VR to model and walk through their mining plans. Oh, I didn't know. This is so cool. Our architect, of course, architect and interior designers, or automobile, cars industry. There was the first one that get the industry, the VR industry, and invest a lot in the industry. Back to Imlearning. So Imlearning is the company that I'm currently working on. So this is like a tutorial. I'll just skip. So basically, you're like in a hub where it's like cozy. There's like, I don't know if you hear it. There's like a fireplace and some jazz. You can interact, and you can like take like disk and place it in like a console and play it, and it's learning modules. So now you're in the job of placing fruits and vegetables in a shelf. So this is like a real training to get the job, and you can get grades, you can get feedback in progression and rates, um, and it's based on a real training that people have to do to pass the test. So there we were like 4 people in 3 months to make this prototype. And yeah, it has a lot of success for investment for certified training, because again, this type of training, it is really difficult to do it, to contact the store and to train people without people passing by, etc. So yeah. There's also there's the palette. I don't know, it's in English. No, the things like five scenes, five different scenes. We cover different aspects of the job. So we're currently working on the project, and the project is currently searching for another phase of investment. So this is it. This is what we could bring into the food industry to the table, because of course it limits the cost. This training is not made for to be standalone. It's made to be integrated in classes, in courses, with real trainer that we will have a learner and other learners around to get feedbacks to play with. So this is what we are really doing for people. So again, there's a lot of things. We made this experience in Unity. So this is exactly what we are using for making games, but we can make series games and VR experience too. It's what time is it in at your place, Jonathan? Is 11? Am I right? Jonathan is
No, I'm here. The current time is 11 o'clock.
It's 11. My question, Jonathan, is do you guys make like 5 minutes breaks, or usually you go straight for it in the masterclass?
So I think that will depend on you, but maybe a 5-minute break would be great.
Yeah, okay. So you guys, we can take like 5 minute breaks if it's okay for you, and you can get back in 5 minutes.
All right.
All right. Yes. See you. Coffee time. Yes, coffee, or
Loic, we can see your emails.
Oh, okay. If yeah, because I've shared yes, I've shared my
Yeah, the whole screen. Yeah.
everybody can see my mail.
But thanks that you didn't go in the details with us. So like, you opening your Gmail.
It's coffee time. I was able to earn that, yes. Okay, we get back to it. I'm just please make sure that you guys are here. So please answer. I'm here in the chat. Jenna is here, of course. Jenny. Hope you guys
We are here.
filled your cup. Oh, you're here. Wendy, yes, wonderful. Julian, is Julian back?
Back.
Yes, Julian is back in the game. So most of you guys are back. Hope you've been filling your glass with some of the most delicious coffee, branding. So let's get back to business. So this wraps up immersive learning environment, and I encourage you, to search for examples because VR is an amazing thing. AR is amazing thing too, and we'll go to that later. So really cool project in learning. Still pretty early, as I said. But it's something that we don't have in French or in Reunion Island. Some training, some certified training that includes VR for some of again abstract learning. It would be really cool, and to have the manipulative part, and you've done this. Even if it's like in virtual reality, you've done this before. It's not like people told me, and once you've got the job, you've never really done this once. And yeah, I think it's really amazing. So let's. Oh, come on. Okay. So this topic is one of my favorite topics so far because I'm really a fan of cultural heritage and preservation, and what we can bring to culture and to our territory. So beside education, cultural heritage and preservation have been impacted by innovation in the last years. And yes, Glorina is back too. Can anybody tell me in the chat what are the stakes of museums that led to this, that led to being in search of innovation? What are the stakes? Why museums right now are really craving for innovation, in your opinion? Please help me. Why do you think museum really have been impacted by innovation these last years? I don't know if you guys in South Africa, if you guys those museum like digital transformation and VR and maybe like escape games. Why? There's really something simple that motivate museum. What is it? Perhaps a dip in people attending over the years. Yes, what about the people attending over the years? What do you think the numbers are? What the numbers are doing right now in the past years? Please help me make it interactive. What is really specific? Again, I will give you some clues. Which people don't go often to museums? with growing community. Don't want to go to museum because, it's boring. I will get that COVID played, yes, an impact on people's attitude games and entertainment at all. Yes, it's part of it, but it's really simpler than that. Gen Z don't go to museum. Yes, of course, Jonathan. Gen Z and, kids in general, because, yes, the answer is quite simple. Many museums faced declining visitor numbers, especially younger audiences. Because it's not rocket science. It's like once you've done the museum once and twice, maybe 3 times, 4 times in your local area, people won't go to the museums as they go to the cinemas, because the content is not. I won't say that the content is static. It's not true, but people just like, man, I've done it. So and a younger audience are worse because there's not the culture. So this led to a search for new engaging methods to attract and retain diverse audiences. And so gamification and immersive experiences provide interactive and dynamic ways to capture attention, particularly appealing to tech-savvy generation. You're talking about Gen Z. Gen Z are really, really, really fond of new tech and stuff. So in some region, museums have turned to innovative technologies as a way to boost local tourism and contribute to economic revitalization. So by incorporating immersive tech, they can market themselves as cutting-edge cultural destination and attracting both local visitors and international tourists. Maybe if you have any example of South Africa museums that are really, I don't know, cutting edge, and maybe people from over the world, they come to this museum. Maybe, of course, there's interest spacing in youth to learn about history, culture. Yes, there's a lot to learn from the past and shouldn't be overlooked. Yes, again, yes. How can we capture attention to again parents, because parents bring their children. This is the main challenge right here. So let me just show you 3 really good examples. So the first one is in Paris. Yes, Museum of Art and Craft in Paris. Which type of technology is it? In the chat. Which is it? Yes, good job, Julian. 10 point to Gryffindor. So yeah, this is augmented reality, and this is really well done because there's interactivity, there's context, spatial context, visualization, so more information about the artworks. This one is really amazing because you were talking about history, Glorina, and this is explaining really better history and with in collaboration with the artwork. So the artwork is part of telling the story. There's embed video in the book. so many simple idea, but yet elegant, that bring technology and at the service of history and culture. This one is really amazing. Watch out this, I don't know if in English, this is yes, it's very cool. Blacksmith, yes. So you can really see the blacksmith using the tools in history. So this is really amazing. Because it's technical, but it's art too. There's games when you can place things around and discover relationships between family, etc. Yeah, so this is it. Very cool. So are there any, again, South African museums that use AR in their artwork? No. They should, because this is really, I don't know, it's not like cheap, but it's affordable for museum, and it's really have a huge impact because something amazing about AR in museum is like it's in a controlled environment. AR are not really a technology that is safe because it depends of a lot of variables such as light, internet connection, and the quality of the device, and the quality of the camera, and there's a lot of things that are not really controlled. And museum is the most controlled environment that exists because they have to control the light and everything's going on. They can give you the tablets, so they can control the device. They can control the way people place them for the AR, because there's like stickers on the ground to say that this is your place to use the AR right now. So this is really amazing because it's like level design, but it's for cultural heritage, and it's really amazing. Not sure, but perhaps Apartheid Museum in Joburg. Wits Museum, yes. Yeah. With Field, yes. So yeah, this is really a good opportunity to bring people back to museum. A second example of what it can bring to the table is not AR, but it's another thing that we didn't explore yet, this tool, but I think is really, really amazing.
So Below Below is a concept whereby we have a chance to see Impressionist art in a different way.
So what is technology? What is called this technology? This is a process. It's not AR. It's not VR. What is it? It's not rocket science too.
You hear the music that was done at that time. You're in the
it's not like XR too. What is it exactly? What tool do they use?
Výstava je unikátní tím, jak veliký prostor dokážeme obrazem pohltit.
Yes, Julian, projection. And the words we're looking for are like projection mapping. Projection mapping. I don't know if you know the word projection mapping, but I guess yes, it's amazing because again, we have like projector for a while right now, but when you use it the right way, it can transform the experience. And this is really amazing because there's like video going on, and I don't know, it's brilliant. Because painting tend to be static, and they manage to make it more dynamic and more colorful, and you're in the paintings. And you get this mood,
různých svítivostí těchto projektorů. Projektory použité v této instalaci začínají na 10 000 ancilumenech a končí až na výkonu 30 000 ancilumen.
I don't know where is this art exposition.
Technologické řešení a zároveň vytvořit prostor tak, aby byl zajímavý.
I don't recognize language.
Řešení, které bude udržitelné z pohledu ceny a zároveň budeme schopni dosáhnout zážitku pro diváka.
I was extremely pleased to bring this concept in the Czech Republic. It existed in France, it existed in other countries, but was never brought here.
My jsme hledali nějaký projekt v rámci covidu, kde bychom uplatnili nějakou dohodu, spolupráci s venue a vytvořili něco, kde by se lidi během covidu mohli pohybovat a co by bylo pro ně zajímavé, co by bylo atraktivní a uplatnit zároveň techniku.
I also thought that it was a great idea to do that because of the COVID situation, where you could have people entertaining themselves, the whole family, with distanciation, respecting everything in terms of security and sanitary needs.
This is really, really cool. I don't know what you guys think about it, but
where they could learn things and they could just let go on their imagination.
And some people they use painting, and they are currently using AI to bring life to some portraits. I don't know if you guys have seen those videos that are trending right now. Again, like Van Gogh, which is painting, and in the painting is like looking at you in the eyes, and bringing them to life with AI. So yeah, very cool and interactive and intuitive. And as I said, immersion is not really about putting people into virtual reality. It's more than that. This is really immersive. And we just got just a video. It's a shame because videos again don't show really immersion. And I know I guess this is really amazing when you're in the exposition. So moving on, the last one, just to get my notes back. Yeah, the third one is my favorite. It brings animation into a restaurant experience. I guess this is German. Immersion is also about seasons too, because if you have this experiment, in Christmas days, it will impact more, So this is it's really amazing. People, interacting and reacting, having emotions. Ah, yes, Playtopia. Yes. Cape Town-based event, yeah. Yeah, you can see the potential of bringing entertainment into a moment that you're waiting for. There's basically in a restaurant you are waiting, and this is a moment that you are not waiting anymore because you are enjoying a little animation. Again, just projection mapping, cool ideas, cool execution, brings a lot to the table. Pun intended. Un, deux, trois. This is French.
Attention.
And you get really this illusion because it's all playing 2D. It's like 2D projection, and when you look at it, it's like illusions of perspective. Yeah. So again, yeah, awesome. And the wheel plate, it comes and it's reality back again. And the experience is really fine and simple yet elegant. What do you think about it, guys? Skull mapping, yeah. So yeah, 3 different examples. Sorry, that leads to the same conclusions that you can really every topic you can have some great ideas. You don't have to have investing millions in like text. I will be bringing some example when you have to have millions, but this kind of example is like more innovative design and not technology. it's more like designing. It's more like storytelling. The last one, the Petit Chef, it's really just about telling the good story, the good animation when he sleeps. It's like it's really quality in the design and storytelling. And I guess we as actors of the CCI, we can bring this kind of innovation in design. So let's move on. Oh, come on. C'est Clovis pour ce chant. Okay. So sorry for that. My colleague is singing right in front of me. Remember, in the beginning, I was talking about what brings us together, but there's a deeper question to that. So how can we bring people together through our work? Well, the first example would be to have a multi-user interactive experience. So the pool around the world is one of the most impressive examples. Just short video. I don't know if you guys know this. It's really famous art. It's been all over the world.
You're an interesting species, an interesting mix. You're capable of such beautiful dreams and such horrible nightmares. You feel so lost.
It's like there's like color, there's like music, like sounds from the pods you're working on, and people can interact, can play with. It's like a toy, but also art. It's beautiful at night. What do you think about it? So the artists' playful sculptures. Sculptures exist where art, technology, and communities meet. And it's leaving the viewers enchanted while encouraging delight through engagement with the work. As you see, she creates the artist. She creates connected human experiences where participants not only interact and enjoy the playfulness of the sculpture, but more importantly, also interact and connect with each other. Sorry. So having art respond to you would bring in a whole new crowd to galleries. Yes, going back to museums. If you have like some playful sculptures, people really go to this kind of experiences because again, we're in like a society that want in the social medias, they want to take pictures or take videos and TikToks and interact with the words differently, but again, as in a playfulness with the environment. So again, yes, it would be a great idea to bring this to art and culture in general. So yeah, I don't know. There was a museum in Mauritius Island. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Mauritius Island. I guess this is a museum of illusions, and there they try to make illusions between perspective and making people small in a photograph, in photos, in videos, etc. So it's basically this kind of magic. Again, it's about magic, it's about perception, deception, and experiences. So this is it. The second example is another good case of using your community toward the same goal. So it's not like interactive. The community does not interact between them, but they have the same goal while having fun. It's Folded. I don't know if you guys heard about this science experimental game, Folded. It's basically a good case of gamified, what we could call crowd solving. I will show you the video.
Welcome to Folded. Here we are in competition puzzle 50, strep binding. This protein is from a bacteria that causes strep throat. I'm Kathleen, and it looks like I'm currently rank 84, which means I have a long way to go to get to the top. I'm competing against all these other players to fold this
What is going on? So I just try to
I can rotate, translate.
Yes. So I just explain it to you. So Foldit attempts to predict the structure of a protein by taking advantage of humans' puzzle-solving intuitions and having people play competitively to fold the best proteins. So since proteins are part of so many diseases, as they can also be part of the cure. So player can design brand new proteins that could help prevent or treat important diseases. And you know what? Their latest solution has resolved the problem, stumping scientists for a decade. Researchers show how gamers provide the crucial insight to solve the structure of a protein snipping enzyme critical for the reproduction of the AIDS virus. So with help of the player's strategies, researchers revealed that the enzyme structure within 3 weeks and identifies targets for drugs to neutralize it. So let's sum it up. The gaming community directly helped to cure diseases while playing a game, while solving just some gamified, puzzle about, folding a protein. And this is really amazing. I don't know if you guys have heard about this game. Yeah, gaming meets biochemistry, because again, life is about rules, and it's about manipulating, and it's about interacting, and if we can mix it up, you get millions of people playing your game and solving real life puzzles. Isn't it amazing? And it cures some diseases, not most of it, but it's really amazing how you can engage community toward the same goal. And the goal here is like healthcare, health, and research. So yeah, it's a really famous game, and you can play it. I guess you can play it for free. You can play it for free and try to maybe be the next person to identify new enzymes structures and help cure some diseases, if you like. Do you guys have any example and comments on Jonathan? Are there any comments on the other chat maybe? Jonathan? No, Jonathan is away.
No, I'm here. Sorry, please just come again. Sometimes I switch between.
Yeah. I was just asking if there was any updates on the chat on the other platform. Is there any comments, any question? Is it okay? Everybody is still here?
I think on this other side everything's okay. There is no comment.
Okay. So we can move on. So so you see that is that really much going on, and not really about games, but because this the first example is not a game, is just playfulness, interactivity. It's music, is sounds, is lights, is not about rules. Toys are not about rules. Yes, there's no rules in toys, but you can really yeah, this one is nice. make people engage and be more motivated. And this is a great example of, you can talk to people, again, bring meaningful meanings to what you are making. So let's move on to branding and marketing. I don't know, is there connected some people from fashion? You said, Jonathan, are fashion people in the masterclass?
Yes, we do.
So this one is especially for you, quick guys. So don't hesitate to interact. Now, immersion and interactivity are also transforming branding and marketing by offering more engaging, personalized, and memorable experiences, while also strengthening brand identity and optimizing strategies based on precise data. So, first one about interactivity. Interactive elements enable users to actively participate in the experience, whether it's customizing products, playing brand-related games. I think we call them advert gaming. I don't know if you've ever had advert gaming in South Africa. It's like, just some silly games, maybe like mobile games that showcase brands. Or attending a virtual event. So this increases hugely consumer engagement and satisfaction. Maybe, yes, about immersion, we can take the example of Nike, a house of innovation in Paris, and I just play the video up for you guys. Maybe not all the video.
The Amsterdam-based Office for Design and Innovation, Modem, created 2 projects for the Nike House of Innovation in Paris, a place where the brand explores new technologies, systems, and standards. In a world where e-commerce has become flat and uninspiring, customers crave more. Meaningful connections, personalized experiences, and radical convenience. In this video series, Frame explores projects that aim to push the boundaries of what retail is, bridging the gap between digital and physical while deepening relationships with customers. This is Frame Views, Connected Retail.
Yeah, so we call ourselves an Office for Design and Innovation, and we do a lot of research and experimentation around new and emerging technologies. And while doing that, the main focus for us is always the user experience and how we can use these emerging technologies for meaningful and engaging creative experiences beyond just the novelty of the technology.
Modem worked on 2 installations that combine cutting-edge technologies, such as an AI image generator and a virtual production studio.
Our most recent project with the Nike House of Innovation Paris is revolving around the launch of the Air Max Pulse sneaker. With this project, we provided store visitors with an opportunity to remix the feeling of air through using a generative AI system. And the goal of the brief was to really capture the spirit and culture of Air Max by enabling Gen Z/Gen Alpha to create their own vision and version of Air Max. Then we started experimenting with these possibilities of live image generation using OpenAI's DALL-E 2 in a retail environment, making sure that every visitor really got a unique audio-visual experience tailored to their own personal taste. Another recent installation we did for House of Innovation was the launch of their Fit ADV sports performance apparel collection. And there we turned product try-ons into a cinematic experience. The brief of this project talked about how this collection shelters you from the elements. And then we thought, how can we put visitors of House of Innovation into these elements, really inside these extreme environments? And at that time, we were looking into into how game engines like Unreal Engine were drastically changing cinema, using giant live LED stages instead of green screens. And this basically led to the crazy idea to build a small virtual production studio inside the House of Innovation, where we hooked up a cinematic camera onto a programmed robot arm and have it synced up with the perspective of the LED screen in front of it. We also added practical effects like wind and HDR lighting to create a state-of-the-art cinematic try-on experience. Visitors were able to create their own digital takeaway to share on social media, giving something to the consumer that they would never experience when shopping this product online.
By using advanced technologies, Modem was able to create unique experiences for visitors, but this naturally did bring some challenges.
The upside of using new and emerging technologies is that you can create truly creative and innovative experiences, but the downside is that oftentimes off-the-shelf ingredients are hard to find because they simply don't exist yet. And then it's always a challenge to bring to life the vision from a technical point of view. Common mistake, and also learned this lesson many times, is that consumers oftentimes lack the context of an installation or an interaction. So making experiences as intuitive as possible, taking away any potential hurdles, is essential to engage with visitors. So we really have to think about, like, how can we make it as fun and engaging and instant as possible for someone that has no prior knowledge of how to create images using AI to just touch a couple of buttons, resulting in a constant stream of new and fresh results.
While e-commerce has gotten more important over the past decades, physical retail is anything but dead. The function of retail space is shifting into a different direction, according to Modem.
One of the greatest benefits physical retail has is that you can actually engage with the product. You can touch the merchandise and then you can build a meaningful narrative around the product. Retail has undergone a major shift, especially since the pandemic, from sales times square meter to experience times square meter. And the role of physical retail spaces is shifting more towards consumer relationship building and brand loyalty, as well as co-creation and exclusive content or product that isn't to be found on traditional e-commerce platforms. Physical properties are very hard to replicate in a digital environment.
After working on several retail projects, Modem has gained valuable insights and believes brands could more effectively employ their retail spaces to connect with potential customers.
Okay, I guess this is it. Just
like to visit.
This is really amazing, and I don't know what you guys are thinking about it, but this is the exact example how you can really push the boundaries of creativity and innovation and interaction using like AI, and the stakes were really that simple. It was like, okay, people are losing interest into physical retail. He said it. It's like museums. How can we engage our base fan to go back to physical retail? And it's again something that's very very unique. They made a small virtual production studio. This is just again, not everybody can make this. It's like it costs millions actually to make those LED panels and Unity engine, Unreal Engine 5. With the multi-sensory weather, there's like rain and wind, etc. It's really amazing experience that only like people like Nike can provide. But again, the solution was like designed before. It's what really, how can we, manage to find a solution to this crisis? Because of course, people tend to buy online. They tend to buy digital products, but again, sportswear is not about your digital; it's about physical. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would hope it makes sense for you guys about branding and about marketing. I got a question for you before moving on. I know that in the audience as like actors from the fashion and design industries. Do you guys have other examples in your mind with like brilliant marketing idea? Not maybe from South Africa or South Africa, but do you guys have any references when you are trying to find inspiration? Do you guys have something in mind? Maybe just maybe speaking a little. Which one, Jonathan? You can point names to me. Which one is from the branding side of the force?
So I didn't get what you mean by branding. Like any person, the fashion.
Yeah, fashion and or design. Maybe fashion because it's all that. This slide was like really oriented with fashion.
Yeah, we've got Guillaume, his hands up.
Yeah, and yes. Can we yes.
So I'm not in fashion. We're in furniture, but it would be really cool to have an immersive furniture store where we can put our pieces in a really immersive environment, so that people from around the world could log in and get a feel of our brand.
Yes, of course, and again, it's a lot more accessible right now. Unreal Engine 5 is free. Of course, the other so you don't need like the LED panel, of course, but there's like project mapping. There's a lot of things that you can use right now to add again more immersion and interactivity to your products and to your experiences. So yeah, let's move on. A little quiz for you. Who will be the king of the quiz? Alexa, there's like a comment. A luxury brand did a campaign with Final Fantasy characters. That was cool for me to see gaming enter the space it wasn't big in before. Yes. Yes, luxury and gaming, it's not really, a classical match, as you would say. So yeah, which Disney series revolutionized visual effects by using LED panels and the Unreal Engine 5 for real-time VFX visualizations? This one is hard. You guys have like 50 seconds. This is a tricky question if you don't know that Disney bought some license. Of course, it's Disney, but it's not so much on Disney, of course. I guess Jenna will have, all the awards for this sessions. Okay. Oh yes, of course. The answer is to Mandalorian. Yes, from Star Wars franchise. It was really amazing to see that with again push the boundaries of technology, because it's really like real-time background, VFX background. And with LED screen, it's have an impact, visual impact of the lighting. The lighting directly impact. People. The problem with green screen is like it's screen and the light there's no light. There's wrong light, of course. So people they've put the effort on post-production, and post-production it costs a lot of money. And real-time VFX visualization is a money optimization. We reduce the cost of post-production, and it's really amazing because now the camera and the producer and the crew, they know that it's really working or not in the camera, because everything is right here, right now, So yes, really amazing. Again, congratulations to Jenna. And the last subject is, because time is really unique, running away. We got 10 minutes less, but this is the last slide, so very good. Our last topic will be about gamifications. I need to get outside more. No, you'll find it. So gamification is the application of game-like elements, such as points, rewards and challenges, non-game context to increase engagement, motivation, and user experience. So can you name in the chat an app that you are using currently that is gamified? I don't know which app you're using. If you're like familiar with like Waze, do you guys use Waze in South Africa, Jonathan?
Yes, we do.
Yes. Okay, nice. Nice, because this was really important, because when you're talking about famous reference and nobody knows this famous reference, it's like, okay, what is he talking about? So this is fine. So most importantly, the dual. Oh my God. Okay, I'll not read this out like the Julian said something really cool, but I will not react, and you will see because why I don't react. So most importantly, the 4 good tips for you to gamify your app, so your application, would be to first, you got to set goals. Set goals for user as give a sense of purpose to the system. They make us feel pleased when we succeed and empower us with a feeling of accomplishment when we achieve them. So it's an essential component of fun. The second element is agree on the set of clear rules. Limitations actually help us become more creative and allow us to appreciate the fun. So rules can be repetitive and continuous actions user need to do, and they are tightly integrated with the main offering of the project. And the last element you can integrate is like the most important for me, because I'm a game designer, is to give feedbacks to users, specifically progress feedbacks. Users need to see how well they are doing in the context of the goals you set for them and rules that they've agreed upon. So it comes on different visual forms like, progress bars, levels, encouragement message. Like we said in the gaming industry, it's like attaboys. It's like, big screen, like, yeah, you did it. Oh, you're so good. You're so brave. You're the best, basically. Animation, VFX, sound effects, extra. And of course, we'll talk about the last example of this presentation, which is Waze, and we'll try to understand why Waze stands out. So Waze successfully transform an otherwise mundane task like driving and commuting into an engaging experience through social collaboration, real-time interaction, and reward systems. So by integrating gamified elements like leaderboards and levels and rewards, it makes commuting more enjoyable and interactive, and it's encouraged users to help each other and improve the driving experience for everyone. And this is really important because every platform, when you're making an app with like community, the most challenging thing is to make people interact, produce content. Just saying, oh, there's an accident right here, right now. They don't want to do that. They want to have the information, and they don't want to interact. They don't want to produce content. And this is the biggest challenge of platforms. It's not about, bringing the community into the app. It's like, how can we commute? And how can we contribute? And gamification, just make it easier and accessible and give you purpose to that. So Waze gamification works because it's deeply tied to its core functionality, which is, if there's an accident, I have to act. It's a call to action, I have to act. Why would I act? So all of these gamifications, all of these elements are answering to this core problem, is like, why should a user interact in your platform? It's enhancing the app's purpose while making it easy and fun to use. And for the last time, by the way, Google acquired Waze for like $1 billion. So it's a good gamification, I think. So this is the last quiz before we say goodbye. So the purpose of some application is to help users learn new languages in an engaging and interactive way. Which application? And of course, I was smiling because one of you guys identified a certain app. So yeah, you do have this application, I guess, in South Africa. And the suspense is it's not a suspense because Julian already, answered it because before the question is, of course, Duolingo. Do you know, guys, about Duolingo? Have you ever tried it to learn another language? Maybe French. So this is another example of best gamified app in the world because again this is fun, this is intuitive, this is interactive, maybe not like immersive because immersion in an application is really hard, but it's accessible and the art direction is fun, and yeah, this is really great. So Duolingo, which brings us to the last slide of this masterclass presentation. So this is it. Time is running out, and our journey ends with this wonderful quote from Einstein, which is, reading out loud: imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. And I think this is a fair ending because in the end, it's all about, being clever in design. It's all about having, this right idea, like the little chef, telling the right story, taking the right risks. And whatever you make, please make sure to enjoy the process and try to provide meaningful experiences. So I hope you enjoyed this time together. And thank you for your time. And of course, if you got any questions, any remark, I will be glad to answer it. Thank you. So we got a question: if you had a client who was not from the gaming space, how would you describe gamification to them? Yes, I had the pleasure to work with a lot of them, and basically gamification is bringing all the good side of games is in a non-game environment. Is you have this engagement problem and retention problem, and you don't know how to motivate your users, and you will bring rules of games into your application, into your activity, basically work activity, something that is considered like dull and not boring but almost boring. So yeah, gamification is using the game elements into a non-game activity. I don't know if here I was clear, but this is what I tend to explain to my clients. And for serious games, because again, it's another question for my clients, serious games is like when you are making games, which purpose is not anymore to entertain. Games, their sole purpose of games is entertainment. And serious game this is not about fun anymore. It can be fun, but this is more about providing information. Serious games. So basically, this is what I explain to clients that have no idea how the words and the definitions. Thank you. Buzzword, yeah, it's a buzzword. It's like AI, crypto, and many companies understand. Yeah, and most of companies don't understand. It's not about pointification. What is it like? Oh, you get points. You got you get points. It's not about points. Pointification is not gamification, and I think it's just really important to make them understand that there's more to that. It's about engagement. It's about motivation. It's about progress. The feel of progress and experiences. And this is it. This is the time. I don't know if we got another time for another questions. And Jonathan, the time master.
Yeah. It's exactly 12 o'clock.
Yes.
So thank you, Loic, on the behalf of the French and the French embassy, and on the behalf of all the entrepreneurs present here. I would like to thank you for this interactive masterclass and immersing masterclass. I've seen some new technologies, and I hope some of us will also discover more during the immersion program that we're going to have in Paris next month. So many thanks to you.
I hope to.
If you're in Paris, we'll be glad to, because we've got like 2 entrepreneurs in the gaming sector.
Yes. Paris is so far away from me, you know. I got some sayings going in.
I see that. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your time too.
And wishing you all the best. And thanks to everyone who attended the masterclass.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Hope you had a great time with me. Thank you.